Hello. Welcome to our guide video where we explain the assembly and working principles of seals and bushings. First, let's look at the assembly of the seal and cover. Our components are the cover, the seal, a Loctite-like thread locker, and finally, a fitting tool suitable for the size of our seal. When starting the assembly, make sure the seal is facing the correct direction. Apply a sufficient amount of thread locker to the outer surface of the seal. Pay special attention to using a suitable fitting tool when mounting the seal to the cover. Now, let's look at the assembly of the bushing and shaft. Our components are the shaft, the bushing, a Loctite-like thread locker, and a fitting tool suitable for the size of the bushing. When starting the assembly, apply a sufficient amount of thread locker to the area on the shaft where the bushing will be placed. Pay special attention to using a suitable fitting tool when mounting the bushing to the shaft. At this stage, we are now ready to begin the full assembly of the seal and bushing. However, before moving on to this step, let's closely examine these components and recall the important details we need to pay attention to. First of all, the most important part of the seal is its lips. These lips are made of Teflon and are very delicate. The most significant role in sealing is played by these lips. Therefore, the lips should never be handled manually, and no foreign tools like screwdrivers or hammers should be used during assembly. Instead, appropriate tools should be used. Deformation of the seal's lips for any reason would mean the loss of its function. Therefore, one of the first things to pay attention to, no matter how simple it may seem, is to preserve the seal's lips. When we closely examine the seal's lips, we will see directional lines processed as fine lines inside the lips. Similarly, on the bushings, we will see linear directions produced with a special 45-degree helical grinding. These directions form the basic working principles of the seal and bushing, which we will now discuss. These directions are determined according to the rotation direction of the rotor where the seal will be used. When we face the rotor, if the rotor on which our seal set will work, that is, the male rotor, rotates clockwise, it is called the right direction. If it rotates counterclockwise, it is called the left direction. Having covered important topics, we can now move on to the full assembly of the seal and bushing. At this stage, our components are the seal mounted on the cover, the bushing placed on the shaft, and the fitting tool. Given the sensitivity of the lips, the most important thing to pay attention to during assembly is using the fitting tool. Mount the fitting tool just in front of the bushing. Then, advance the seal over the fitting tool onto the bushing. In this way, the seal will be positioned on the bushing without damaging the lips. Finally, remove the fitting tool. This completes the full assembly of the seal set. Now, let's take a look at how our seal set works and its functions. In this example, we will examine a seal set working on a rotor with a clockwise or right rotation direction. As the rotor operates at high speed, the directions on the surface of the bushing and the directions on the Teflon lips of the seal work by gripping each other like two gears, and they push the oil coming with pressure back inside. This ensures complete sealing on one hand, while maintaining the continuity of the system on the other. This is the general working principle of the system. As the seal continues to work on the bushing, it will start to bite and settle on the bushing in a short time. Thus, the system reaches its most efficient state. Having fully covered the system's components and working principles, we can now touch on a few more important topics and complete our guide. A seal set consists of the seal, bushing, and fitting tool. As can be understood from the working system, using only the seal, using the seal with a different bushing, or using a new seal on an old bushing will cause the system to lose its function, and the seal will eventually leak. To avoid such situations, we definitely recommend acquiring seals as a set. Additionally, seals can come in many different variations, such as single lip, double lip, or reverse lip. They can be directional or non-directional. Their thickness may differ from the examples you have previously used. All such technical specifications are determined as standards within Fagosan using advanced engineering technologies to ensure that all seal sets of each group fully perform their functions and work most efficiently in their application areas. Therefore, when placing your orders, providing screw models and model labels instead of measurement information will be both easier and a healthier and more understandable method. This way, we can provide you with the fastest and most accurate solution with all our expertise. Thank you for choosing Fagosan Quality.